Hey, how you doing? It's Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 independent comic books, and it looks like we're up to 1,001. So this book is now complete, and it's at the printers. I just wanted to give you an update and kind of get you to have a chance to see like what the thing looks like. I am really excited about this book. So The Mermaids is a 48-page full-color graphic novel that I expanded to 56 pages because I've got some extra cool stuff that I put in it. Really excited about it. This is one of the 4 covers. As you can see, this one's already set up. This is by Javier Aranda and Farah Namzilla. Incredible art by Javier and great coloring by Farah. Just beautiful, beautiful work. And that logo was designed by J.J. Jackson. She's fantastic. Also another cover by Javier and Farah. Beautiful, beautiful work. I love how it came out. And you can see this book has been designed and now redesigned to be a standard comic book size, 6 5/8, 10 1/4. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. This cover is by Jerry Gatrudia. Jerry did a lot of the early designs on the Mermaids for me. Really, really helped me flesh out my concepts and get an understanding of what it was I wanted to do. Gorgeous work. And that coloring was actually done by Esther Sands. She's from Spain. She's a fantastic colorist, and she colored, as you'll see, numerous Mermaids pieces. And she also did the interiors of the book. Looked fantastic. This project has been like a 10-year project for me. Not every day of 10 years. It's just been a very, very long time working on this. So I'm really excited to see it done and be able to get copies out to you guys who supported it. And if you haven't gotten this book yet, you'll still have a chance to. I'm going to do a little bit of some overrun. Not a lot of overrun, just a little bit of overrun for people that didn't get a chance to get it originally. This side cover is another beautiful cover by Jerry Gatrudia and colored by Farah Namzilla. Not Farah, I'm sorry. Colored by Esther Sands. Fantastic, fantastic coloring. This is the interior of the book. This is it. This is the publisher page. And then it just goes on. This is another beautiful piece by Jerry and Esther. And this is the interior of the book. This book was originally designed, my conception for it was to do the book in 6 panel pages, to create a constriction for storytelling that would also, it was an experiment. I get very experimental with stuff. It was to discipline the talent from the writing to the illustration and the storytelling, but also so that we could do multiple formats. I started this book before there was a Kickstarter, before there was a Comicsgate. Well, not exactly before there was a Kickstarter, but there wasn't much coming out just yet. And the only things that seemed to be working is when you would build audiences for books online. I wasn't going to really do... I tinkered with maybe doing it as a web comic, but my plan was to offer the panels one at a time through like an email list and also through social media, not really so much centered on a single page. So we had a Twitter account, a Tumblr account, a Facebook account, and eventually I was like, nah, it's just not going to work. But I executed, we finished the book, really happy with how it came out. But then we wanted to do something more dynamic with it. Dan Frega suggested we do it, encouraged me. Billy Tucci did, and those guys are great guys. I've known them a while now, and we just couldn't say no. So then Chris Renkowitz came in, who's a friend of mine, who's a super talented artist, designer, animator, creator, writer. And Chris Renkowitz did this beautiful work on taking the illustrations and kind of helping to relay out the book, really doing the layouts. And had it not been for Chris, I would not have been able to make this book look this fantastic. But God, he did an amazing job. And I love how the book came out. I'm really proud of it. When you see it, you'll see it's a really interesting story. You get a sense of a large existing world with a lot of interaction with a lot of different characters. It really is my Game of Thrones with mermaids. It's kind of like, all right, enough already with that. But it is. It's a whole fantasy world with multiple characters that have separate identities and dramas and things that go in between them. And I was able to do that because I have an amazing creative team that I got to work with doing this. The book was my idea originally. But MJ wrote it, and then Stefan came in and edited and wrote along with it. He's my writer on College of the Dead. We developed that together as well. And that's me. I just love to collaborate with talented people, because look at what you get when you do that. And boy, did Chris really add some extra dimension to this. He made this so fantastic in dynamics. As you can see, I really appreciate the support of everyone who supported the project, and the incredible creators that made this thing come together. And we'll see what the future is for the Mermaids. Right now, we're going to just release this first book, make sure everybody likes it, and then we'll see about the future for this for a book 2. We'll see. Now, there's 40 pages of sequentials, and there's 11 pages now from Jerry in there. These designs of Jerry's just had to be published. So all these interior full pages from Jerry, all these gorgeous pinups that are drawn by Jerry and colored by Esther, are not cover images. These are additional images that aren't available anywhere else. And they're gorgeous. They're fantastic. All of these mermaids are part of the Mermaids universe and the world. And I'll tell you, it's very well thought out. Originally, I was only going to have these character pages featured in the making of book. But I was talking with my designer, and I was like, look, let's bring it over to the comic. Let's add some more pages, because there are so many characters in the world of the Mermaids. It's not a one and done, one-off, like 3 mermaids running around in a circle fighting each other. This is really thoroughly developed. Tremendous work by Jerry and MJ and Stefan and David Lorenzo, the artist who did the interior, the sequential art. Just tremendous work. As you can see, character descriptions. This was originally going to be for a trading card set, and then I kind of was like, you know what? Enough with the trade. Let me put it all together in one place so everyone kind of gets to see what this book is and what it's all about. And that's what the interior of the book looks like. And it's at the printer. So these books are being printed. I'm expecting them to take about 2 weeks to get them to me. We'll see. Could take a little longer. Could be a little quicker. But they're going to be beautiful. We're doing an extra heavy cardstock and glossy paper inside. Of course, a perfect bound, gorgeous book. I'm really proud to be publishing this book. And I have a very high standard. I've published, as I say, like more than 1,000 comics. And I lost count a long time ago. Some of those comics were published to a very high standard. A lot of them were not. A lot of them were just, one-off idea books and things like that. And, to each his own. We obviously sold more than 1,000 different comics. And interestingly, it wasn't based on people liking me. It wasn't from social media. It was non-returnable orders placed by comic book stores for people that wanted the ideas and the books that we were putting out. So market-proven concepts, So that said, I want to make sure everything that I do now is to a very high standard, with the art, with the storytelling, with the lettering, particularly with the writing. I want people to feel something when they read the story. I want them to really also see that a lot of effort's gone into the book. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm coming from. That's my pride with this book. And really quickly, since I've got your attention, I also want to just show you the making of book real quick. If you haven't backed the making of book, I already have these printed. They are literally in-house. I don't have a lot of them. I have a few extras. You can still get it on the campaign, and I can probably combine it into your existing order. So just check out the campaign for that. I'll try to also send an email out as reminders for people before these ship. Now, this making of book, I'm also incredibly proud of, because, again, we did so. This isn't even all the development for the Mermaids, but we did so much to put the Mermaids together and make it a big world, an exciting world, an interesting world, and again, a place where you would go to this and you would say, oh my God, like, what is this, a series of fantasy novels? I don't know, we just went nuts and we put so much into it. So I wanted people to see it. Originally, this was going to be a 100-page book. I expanded it to a 112-page book. Again, there's the publisher page, and you get to see Javier's line art for that beautiful swimming mermaid cover, Jerry's character designs. Some of these pages, these character designs, you will have seen in color in the main book. Many of them are just only black and white, and they're here. And there are, I believe, 30 of these. There's a lot of them. There's a bunch of them. They're just gorgeous. They're just gorgeous. And this was a great opportunity for Jerry to get to do this work. I'm really happy. I love to find people who have talent who haven't gotten as much exposure and give them a chance. And I always look at it that way. You know, when we were hiring people into the publishing company, when I first started, we had the offices in the studio. I almost felt guilty in a way, like that I had the opportunity to just do whatever I wanted to do. So I tried to hire inexperienced people, but that looked like they had talent. And that's not really a great idea, to be honest. The best thing to do, especially if you're not really experienced as a business person, is rely on people that have experience as much as you can. Because it doesn't really... Jerry didn't have deadlines. We just worked on these, I think, for about a year or so doing designs. And then they were so beautiful, I just asked for more and more. These girls are in the book. A lot of these characters you'll see. This flute lady, she's not in the book. She's part of the story world. She's not in the first book. These three old ladies are in the book. A lot of these characters are in the book. Rinko's in the book. Yeah, my 2 cents is I love giving people a chance. And a lot of people have given me a chance. My supporters for the Mermaids gave me a huge chance to be able to publish this book. But you got to be really careful when you're starting out. Just make sure you can't keep your promises if everybody can't get the work done. Let's just put it that way. So these are character descriptions. This was the original destination of these character descriptions, was to put them in the making of book. This is the making of. The making of book, we're only 30 pages in, but look at all of this gorgeous work. These guys did a frigging amazing job. This is the full script. And one of the things that's fascinating about the Mermaids making of book, and this is the thing for me, like, I love making comics. I love making comics with other creators. I love the collaboration. And there's so much behind the scenes that if you don't make comics, and also if you don't make comics with experienced professionals, like, you won't get to see this kind of stuff. Like this in here is the full script. And originally it was going to just be layouts. I decided to go with pencils and inks for this making of book, and I'll explain why in a second. But the full script that Stefan did, and he incorporated in, boy, MJ's initial work was, her scripting was rough because she hadn't scripted anything before. Long story short, she did a beautiful job, but Stefan really also helped a lot in terms of tightening it up. So love the creative team. But look, I mean, I get the full script, you know, and it's so fun to have this material when you're making the actual comics. You get the full script. You get, I'm saying me as a publisher, as a creator, I get to see this stuff come together. So we have the original 6-panel pages. This black and white 6-panel page, when it was converted by Chris, wound up looking like this. See? And on some of these, we wound up cutting some panels. That's page 2. That's an interesting page that Chris did. You see? This is an incredible page that Chris did. If you wound up getting both of these books, you'll be able to kind of compare and see. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go through every page, but look at the difference between... Now, all the drawing is there. Chris had to add very little to any of the drawing or coloring. And occasionally he would flip a panel because the storytelling would work better that way. But basically, all the basic drawing is there. But then you take a guy like Chris Renkowitz, who does animation, comics, design. He's able to go in and turn it into what he did with this, the storytelling. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. Look what he did with this page. This compared to this. Great original drawing. Great job by David Lorenzo, who drew what was asked exactly in the full script, and also helped with this character design. He was fantastic to work with, David Lorenzo. But now look at how cool his work looks now. After we got a chance to really open it up, which Chris did a fantastic job of. So the making of book has all of this. It has all of the panels, and there are some pages that Chris said for storytelling purposes, we should drop a couple of the panels and just some pages are larger. In fact, there's one page, well, there are a number of pages that have one panel cut here or sometimes even two panels cut there. What we didn't want to do was take 40 pages of sequential art and then stretch it out to like 48 pages or 50 pages of sequential art because it was complicated, because that's just not how it was designed to be done. And we also didn't want the layouts to go absolutely berserk. So Chris is really good at being able to help contain a project. So this is what the making of book looks like. And this production process stuff is one of my favorite parts of making comics. Just having it all come together, collaborating with the team, giving feedback. And the thing too is when you give people good instructions, you get good results. You get layouts that make sense because they're going from a well thought out script, and the pacing is right and everything comes together. And look, in MJ, as I was saying before, she was new. Her script needed a lot of work. I got help from another editor who was working without a name on this, but a Marvel Comics editor was a friend of mine. He was great. He kind of recommended her to me, and he really helped a lot as well. But just by having one person who wasn't as experienced, it did slow the project down a bit, but she brought a tremendous energy and creativity to it as well. And there was enough of other experienced people on our team, me and Stefan and the other editor, and David has done comics before. They were really able to kind of pull it all together and make it work. So again, David Lorenzo, this sequential art is fantastic. Chris Frankowitz, fantastic. The original writer, MJ Negulera, I believe I don't want to mispronounce it, but MJ, the writer, she's fantastic, super creative. And Stefan, fantastic. The colorist, Esther Sands, who colored the sequential art and Jerry's art, and Farah, who colored Javier's covers. And of course, Javier's covers are absolutely gorgeous. I love working with Javier. Really, really fantastic work from him every time we do something. So this is what this book is all about. I'm really, really happy to have this project complete. I will have other projects coming up. You will be hearing a lot about them from me and probably from other people too, because we'll have some exciting stuff coming. If you haven't backed the Mermaids, or if you want to share this with somebody, you can get it at epicmermaids.com. There's a very cool trailer on there. And, you can get me on social media as well. And connect with me if you want me to add something to your order. If you have any other questions, I'm always out there. And also, College of the Dead is my other project, and this one is still available through In Demand. And again, I can't thank you enough if you've supported the Mermaids. Thanks for checking out this video, and I will see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.
Ha ha ha!